Today's episode, we're going to be talking about what's trending post-COVID with Connor Steinbrook. You know, Connor Steinbrook is a super brainiac when it comes to marketing and YouTube channels and blogs and podcasts and all this stuff. So we're a little bit all over the map here, but isn't that what it's all about? COVID changed everything. We had to try a lot of things. We had to move all over the map because they moved the cheese. So let's go with Connor Steinbrook and see some of the things he did to keep up with the changing times. This is Mitch, and welcome to the 1000houses.com podcast. I'm here with Connor Steinbrook. We're going to be talking about a little bit of everything, but it's all important. We're talking mostly to real estate creative investors and a lot of things to do with marketing and your overhead. So we'll begin with that in just a minute after I pay homage to my sponsor, livecom.com, livecom.com. Check out Livecom. It's a place where you can buy smartphone numbers. It's phone numbers that capture the incoming caller's cell phone number and put it into a text distribution list for you so that you can talk to these folks for 2 cents a text. It's one of the most phenomenal marketing tools out there. If you're not using this as a lead capture system or mass texting system, you need to think about it because technology is changing the way we do business. Now, time to get on with the fun part.
Let's do it.
Where are you sitting right now? What city, what state?
I'm at a rental property that we're rehabbing. Believe it or not, I'm in a shed out back. I'll show you here. It's not finished. I had to, and I came out here because we have a slab leak, and I hope it's not too loud out there. They're literally cutting a Grand Canyon through my floor right now. So I'm in the backside of a flip house that we're doing here in Denison, Texas, which is a secondary market just north of Dallas, where I'm buying a lot of my houses, where I think, I'm getting houses way below replacement value up here. And so I'm buying up here, and a lot of pressure is pushing people out north of Dallas up into these areas about an hour north of here. So this is where I kind of plant my flag and swinging for the fences.
There you go, man. That's good. You got to kind of move to where the cheese is sometimes, right?
All right.
A lot less strenuous, a lot less inspectors out there too, because I know the inspectors down here in our cities are just killing us now. We have to get a permit now to move a ceiling fan 8 inches. It's just ridiculous, and the fines are crazy. And they're just out there trying to find the living tar out of you for everything they get you on. They're even fining me for work that the previous owner did without a permit. They're fining me because I bought the house. It's just ridiculous. So, they can have all those. I did what you did. I just went to some places where I don't have that problem. And turns out I'm doing phenomenally well out there. It's like, why did I ever stay in the city? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I made most of my money in the secondary and tertiary markets in the perimeters outside the major metroplex, because I think what happens is the competition is way less because you don't have the traveling education system that goes through major cities. So you don't have the $50,000 gurus going through educating everybody. And in those heart of the city, you got thousands of people doing 1 or 2 deals a year. It takes a lot of volume out. So these small areas, I don't think they can get a return to fly out there and do events and sell these coaching courses. So the education level is lower, which brings the competition lower. And then also the farther from the cities, there's less income and less as an aggregate average income. So that people do get in trouble, they don't have as many friends and families and that have disposable income to step in and help them. And so a lot of these areas are also older, and you're seeing the older generation get a little bit older and want to move out into assisted living facilities. And so a lot of times they're looking to sell these properties right now.
It's a changing world. COVID forced a lot of things. It taught people that didn't know how to buy online. It taught people who didn't know to use technology to operate their business from afar, how to do that. We learned how to show houses without having to go out to them or not having to go in. We learned how to show houses with no physical contact with our clients, or no proximity. I don't think we're ever going to go back. I mean, I think it's making a lot of changes that, I'm kind of scared to death for commercial real estate. I wonder what's going to happen to that,
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, everything's going to go cloud-based unless it's like a business model, like a discount tire, where you really can't drive a car in the cloud for an oil change. But, just to kind of give you guys an idea of quick rundown of my background, I jumped into, went off to college and was getting a marketing degree. I put $20 in a poker site, and it turned into a profession of mine. I did very well for about 8 years. And this is a similar case study. I just put a video on my channel, Mitch, about three different areas of my life that I've noticed this pattern where I got into an early adopter strategy where brick and mortar was turning into a technologically internet-based business model. So brick and mortar casinos to cloud-based business model or internet model, where we could play more hands quickly than we could live because of the physical time to do the cards. So I could increase the hand volume. I could essentially play in 1 year what would take a live poker player 400 years, I calculated, to do. So I was able to learn really, really quick. The second one, when I figured that another early adopter early adopter stage technologically advanced marketing strategy was YouTube. I was one of the first people to get in the real estate space on YouTube, and I put time into it. And I saw this transitioning. And the third one would be eXp Realty, which is transitioning from brick and mortar to cloud-based. Now, the big reason why everything's moving away from brick and mortar to cloud-based business models is time, if you think about it, right? So you saw Blockbuster go out of business to Netflix, Toys R Us to Amazon. What you guys need to understand is the time that they're demanding for you, the person that's going to go buy the product or service. So Toys R Us says you have to get in the car, take all that time, drive down to the building, an expense for your car to get down there. Walk into the building, walk around the building, grab the toy off the shelf, check out, drive home. On top of that, they want you to pay for the time of the employees that go out there. So they have a bunch of people drive out to a brick and mortar physical building to run that building, and they're taking that expense they have as a liability to run that building, and they're pushing it off on us. So we're paying more for the product or service and taking more time to go get it, and our time can turn into income or relationships. So that's why brick and mortar is going out of business. Going out of pretty much every industry model, not just in our industry. Every industry, and definitely not just in our part of the world. It's all over the world right now. So it's a trend to run a leaner, cleaner business model, to run a business model that operates with less capital up front. So it's a less risky business model, and they're saving time on the back end for the product or service that someone's going to go get or use.
Yeah. So, and even in my businesses, I think I have 6 or 8 Filipino VAs, that help me do a lot of things. And we're taking advantage of that exchange rate, which is so beneficial from the US dollar over to the Filipino peso. And we pay a lot less, and we can actually pay the Filipino more than they're used to making over there. So it's kind of a win-win deal. If anyone's interested in VAs, you can always go to 1000houses.com/VA help and learn a little bit about that. I hope you're enjoying this interview with Connor Steinbrook. I certainly had a good time doing it for you. Please, while we're here, stop for a second. Check out that like button, check out that share button, and for heaven's sakes, why don't you mash on them both a couple of times? And if you haven't subscribed, let's take the chance to do it right now. Now, back to Connor Steinbrook. You have a mini course on YouTube, right? You have a YouTube mini course. Yep. What does it deal with?
Yeah, so I think one of the big reasons I think a lot of people don't start at anything is that there's a barrier in their mind of too much to learn. There's this huge perceived difficulty of doing something. So I created a YouTube course, but in part of it, we took out the first section of it, which is a setup process on how to set up and do this correctly, set up your YouTube channel, set up your Gmail, set up your channel art, set up all the links. So it's just 9 quick videos on the step-by-step process how to set your channel up correctly. So what I want people to do is to get that free course, set their channel up, because now they have no excuse to go create content. One of the biggest reasons I see people tell me when they know they need to be creating content is, well, I don't have my channel set up, or I don't know how to set it up. And this is something that people do, I think, is a procrastination of something why they leave it there so they don't have to go do it. So I use this to help them set it up correctly so they know how to do it. And so hopefully once they set that up, they're more likely to go on it and follow through and start putting videos up.
Yeah, so if you're interested in getting up and rolling on YouTube, he's giving away this mini course. So I want you to go to 1000houses.com/Connor S, and that's CONNOR S as in Steinbrook, and get over there and check out that mini course. It's absolutely free. If you've been thinking about getting on YouTube and introducing yourself to the world that way, and that's what's so cool about it, you are there for the world can find you, the whole wide world. What a place we live in. Even 25 years ago, this wasn't possible. 20 years ago, and now you can be open to the world with potentially millions upon millions of followers if you're interesting enough and you're delivering content. Always remember, though, it's about delivering content. People have things to sell. I have things to sell. Connor has things to sell. But when you're out there in the public, no one wants to hear just a great big long sales pitch. You got to give them some content, some useful information. And I think, if my podcast has been any success at all and my YouTube channel, it's just because I focused, 19 minutes on the content, and then the minute, like if you want to know more, or you want me to teach you, or you want Connor to teach you, go over here, and that's that. Let people pick and choose. I like to remind everybody, I have this podcast for the primary reason of helping people find their place so that they can get financially free. Once you become financially independent, you're going to free up 2,600 hours that you were given to a boss or a job that you can spend on yourself now and become who you're supposed to be, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's important what you just brought up. I mean, it's a sprint in life to get to financial freedom through residual income, because once you guys cover your basic monthly liabilities, your mortgage, your rent, your house payment, your car payment, kind of what Mitch was saying is you get to know yourself for the first time. You actually become a different person. You get to now, because you're not constantly focused on the muddy water of financial stress, you can work on your faith goals, your health goals, your relationship goals, your community goals, the other things that you've been neglecting for so long. A lot of us, we do this with our body, our houses are disorganized. We can finally slow down. So you owe it to yourself and your family to sprint as fast as you can to get financially free, and then decide who you are and what you want to do with the rest of your life, is what I tell people.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Connor Steinbrook. I certainly enjoy being around that guy. He is a brainiac. Now, for those of you that hung around to the end, I want to offer you the first 31 pages of my second book, My Life in 1,000 Houses, 200 plus ways to find bargain properties. Now, what the first 31 pages is about, it's about branding, how to get off on the right foot, stay on the right foot, and keep your branding in line and pulling all together in one direction from the very beginning. Believe me, if you get this wrong in the beginning, you'll be paying for it sooner than later. You'll have to go back and start over time and time again until you get it right. And these 31 pages, very easy read, you're going to see how to get it right from the very beginning, and it'll make perfect sense. And you'll say to yourself, dang, I'm glad I read that 31 pages, because that really makes sense, and it's going to count going forward now, every single second going forward. To get this 31 pages, just click on the link below right here, or go to 1000houses.com/branding, BRANDING. All right, my friends, this is Mitch Stephen. I'm headed to the next episode. Why don't you follow me that way?